Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me for a video that I actually meant to make before IndiePack, which is my gear and my pack and my clothing list. Basically, I just ran out of time. So here it is now. This is all the clothing that I wore. And just to give you a bit of context, Australia is a very, very big country with an incredibly diverse climate. So I had to keep in mind that I would be crossing deserts that could be potentially very dry and very hot. And then I could be up in the mountains, which were very, very cold, raining, and I think, you know, even they were predicting snow up in the Victorian mountains a couple of days ago while the race was going. So, huge country, hugely diverse climate, bit of a pain in the ass and a bit of a nightmare to actually think through, what do I need? You know, obviously the correct disclosure, if something was supplied to me, I'll tell you, and yeah, here we go. Okay, so here on the table now we have my basic day-to-day setup, and starting with the jersey, this is a Rapha Pro Team Aero jersey, long sleeve from a couple of years ago, and this is one of my all-time favorite pieces of kit. It's hard to find long sleeve jerseys that are really light. This is a very light material, breathable panels on the side, and that is light and also has long arms. I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm 183 centimeters, but I have really long arms as well. This is size small, so it's one of the few jerseys I found that actually is able to cover the vast majority of my arms. Really love this jersey. It is super faded. It's just spent a lot of time in the sun. Yeah, really dig it. And the bottoms were my Gore Power bib shorts. Now these were supplied by Gore through Cycle Closet. Head down to the description below. I have a full review of these on La Velocita. Really big fan of these Knicks. I think they are excellent and they performed really well during the event. Under the jersey, I just wore a More Velo cotton base layer. Nothing particularly special about it. I always wear a base layer. I just like it. It's just comfortable for me. Good base layer. Kind of gross and dirty because of all the indie packing. Now, on my feet, I had some Rapha Breve socks. These are part of the new collection. These were sent to me by Rapha for review through La Velocita, so just disclosing that. These are a merino blended sock, which are great because they are warm, they breathe really nicely, and they don't stink really badly. These things went days without being washed, and they didn't smell. So, yeah, really great piece of kit, those. And this is actually reflective. So, you can't really see it in this light, but those little strips around the top there do light up. So, yes, excellent sock. Big fan of those. Now, just over here, I have my gloves. These are specialized Grail gloves. And I'll probably talk about these more in other videos, so I won't say too much now, but these are, hands down, the best gloves I've ever used. They are amazing. Love them. Now, these are a couple of really, really awesome pieces of kit that I really liked. This is the More Velo Plan B race cape. Now, this is a 79-gram jacket. It is amazing. Very, very good at stopping wind. It'll handle about 40 minutes of pretty solid rain before the rain starts to come through. It's got reflective trim on it. So it's a very, very versatile piece of kit. I'll show you in a minute how small this thing rolls down. It packs away into its own pocket and it is tiny. So it's really great for bike packing and anything where you could have some dodgy weather. This is something I use every day. This is a Gore Active Shell Windstopper gilet. This thing, again, I'll show you in a moment what they pack down to. Incredibly light, very, very, very windproof, and very waterproof as well. I got rained on a lot on day one, just using this thing, and yeah, really great piece of kit. I'll fold them down for you. Give me a second. Okay, and here they are packed down. This is the gilet. Beautiful and small. This is the jacket. It's even smaller. It's amazing how small this thing stuffs down. And here is my disclosure statement that both of these things were supplied to me for review by Cycle Closet. I've also reviewed both of these for La Velocita, so head down to the description if you want to read more. Excellent pieces of kit, these. You really need things that are, you know, versatile and small. So, you know, good quality race cape and a good quality gilet can make a huge difference day to day with these sort of things. So yeah, check them out in the description. Okay, and here is my table of Gore stuff. Now, again, full disclosure, this was supplied through Cycle Closet from Gore. Big thanks to them. I'll get rid of that now. Yes, this is a Gore Oxygen waterproof jacket, and this is just a really, really fantastic jacket. For a full waterproof, it is very light. It's quite supple. And a really great feature is it has these zippers on the back here, so you can still get into your jersey pockets. Now, I didn't actually get rained on in this during the race. I have been rained on in it before. It is a great waterproof jacket, and it's also really good for warmth. As I said, it's quite a supple jacket. Now, this is a bit of a weird one. These are waterproof pants. This is from the Gore Oxygen line again, and a lot of people get surprised when you tell them that you take waterproof pants. But you have to sort of factor in that there could be days when you get rained on for the entire day. And it could be very, very cold. So it's really important to have these sort of safety net pieces of clothing. The idea is that with the jacket and with the pants, and also with these things, my shoe covers, and also my gloves. These are Gore gloves of some sort. I can't exactly remember exactly which ones they are, but they have a good amount of waterproof and they're very windproof and warm. So the idea is that with all these things together, I can kind of rainproof myself. So that was the plan, and this stuff does pack down quite small. It's a very light material, and yeah, really, really, really great quality stuff. I'm very lucky to have had this sent to me, and very, very appreciative. The mountains with the cold and with the forecast snow, this stuff could have really saved me, but unfortunately I didn't make it. So yeah, great stuff this. So here's my sort of headgear, I guess you'd say. Now, the POC Octal helmet, I've made a video about that already. Still really like it. I still think it's an excellent helmet, but look at the fade on this thing. It's almost white on top. I mean, it was out in the sun a lot on the Nullarbor, but yeah, it's almost a white helmet, except for the little patches of green down there. So yeah, wow. Really, this race took its toll on the helmet. Now, the glasses, I do really like these. The only problem with these is that when you're not wearing them, they're kind of hard to stash. Like, if you look at that shape, they don't really stash into anything. Like, they're just a bit of a... They're so curved. Like, normally I ride in a sort of Wayfarer style sunglasses, and they flatten down nicely, so they're easy to put in a jersey pocket. Good glasses, but yeah, just a bit temperamental sometimes. But thank you. These were supplied through Cycle Closet, through POC, Australia, New Zealand. Big thanks to them for that. Now, this was my cap. I always wear well, for this race, I was always wearing this cap. This is just a pink Ridge Supply cap, nice and light, and very visible. And also, I thought it was funny because it clashed so badly with this, and I, like to look like a rainbow threw up on me when I was in this race. So, yep, fashion icon. And this thing is just what I bought. This is a neck buff, so you basically pull this down over your head, have it around your neck. Just for sun protection. I often pulled it up over my face just to get myself out of the sun. If it was cold, it's nice to wear around your neck. It's just nice and light. Just a little comfort piece there. So I do like those. If you're going somewhere where it's either cold or very, very hot or very, very sunny, these things can be very useful. Another couple of random bits and pieces. This is just a very, very light, very small, basically swimming short. And I take these for the times when you're maybe not on the bike, maybe you're in accommodation or whatever, and you've just had a shower, and you just need something to wear around. Very light, very small, and they also have this sort of meshy underwear in them as well, which is kind of nice for comfort when you're in Nicks all day, every day. And then just my Love Ella Cheetah t-shirt. Just a small cotton t-shirt, comfy, rolls up small, no worries. Now, the final piece are these filthy bastards. These are the low-end Specialized Sport mountain bike shoes. And I bought these fairly late on because I was assessing some other shoes that were much more expensive, and they were just not doing it for me. They weren't comfortable. I was having some problems with tingling in my toes. And yeah, these things I love because they're just flexy, comfortable shoes. There's plenty of room in them, and they're just basic. I don't really like really stiff shoes for endurance cycling because it is the sort of thing that can start to hurt after a while. So these things, yeah, they're brilliantly easy to walk in. No worries. You just walk in them like they're regular shoes. And also walking in them wears them in really nicely. So I really like these. These are, these are about $100 in Australia. And yeah, really great shoe. Now this is actually, I taped up the vents. There's vents under here, and I hate it when people put vents there. It just means that if it is raining, just go straight in and onto your feet. And I just don't get it. Like, I live in Australia, which is a hot climate, but I never suffer with hot feet. I've had shoes that didn't have any vents on them before, and they were totally fine. So yeah, that's my rolling bodge. These shoes are really great. If you're looking for an endurance shoe, Specialized do very well with sort of contact points, things like gloves and shoes and, that sort of stuff. So check them out if you're just after something that's cheap, that you can really beat the hell out of, very resilient. Yeah, big thumbs up for me on these shoes. Cheap and good. It's what I like. Okay, so that's it. That's all the clothing that I took. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that gives you some sort of insight into things that people do take bikepacking. If you're planning your own bikepacking trip, I hope that sort of gives you some sort of help. Let me know if you got any questions, comments, whatever. Leave it down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you guys. See you next time.